Welcome to WarrenAlford.com. I'm glad you're here. This is your source for quality management information. There are many possible ways in which organizations can be structured. The organizational structure is used to define the activities of individuals and to indicate the reporting relationships throughout the organization. The decision-making authority at various levels of the organization will determine the amount of centralization. If key decisions are focused on one single point, such as the CEO, then the organization is said to be highly centralized. To the greater extent, if the lower-level managers and employees have the authority to make decisions, then the company is more decentralized. There are various forms of company structures: flat or horizontal, tall or vertical, product, function, and matrix. Additionally, they can be hybrids of the general structures, such as flat and wide, tall and narrow, etc. Organizational structures have been with mankind throughout the ages. Whenever communal work is to be done, an organizational structure was necessary. The flat organizational structure refers to a minimum number of levels needed to coordinate the activities of the organization. A flat organization may also be called horizontal or wide. Perhaps a level for the owner, another level for superiors, and the lowest level for hourly paid employees. The span of control for supervisors would be high, in the range of 10 to 20 employees or more, dependent upon the size of the company. Generally, the upper management levels would have the span of control of only 5 to 7 people. The span of control is not fixed, but highly dependent upon the situation. In fact, this applies to any organizational structure. Large corporations take time to respond and make corrections. The flat organization is best for small corporations. The tall or vertical organization has a large number of levels. Decision-making for a tall organization is more controlled and probably centralized. Some people regard guiding a big organization as steering a huge super oil tanker. Only a little rudder diverts water, which eventually changes the direction of the tanker. The tanker cannot turn on a dime. However, given enough time, a change in direction can occur. The bureaucratic organization is an outgrowth of the vertical organization. Functional organizations divide the company into functional categories. Typically, for a medium-sized company of about 500 employees, departments would include human resources, production engineering, plant engineering, safety, information technology, production planning and control, shipping, receiving, quality assurance, purchasing, and of course the manufacturing department. Smaller companies may have several of these functions combined into major groups. Large companies can subdivide into more functions as needed. Geographical organizations are based on differences in locations. The groupings allow the organization to take care of regional or international differences. These geographical differences could be price, customer preference, cost, or distance. Each grouping would have their own functional or product departments. A matrix organization is a hybrid design incorporating product and project or functional assignments. This is an attempt to provide a product or project organization with specialized functional help. There is a sharing of functional specialists, which helps to reduce cost. Team-based organizations are good for communication. The basic concepts have spread throughout America, but it is still a rarity to find team-based organizations. There are 3 levels of defining culture within an organization. The first level is artifacts. This is the level that one observes when walking around the plant. It is the architecture, decor, and the way that people behave toward each other. Level 2 is Espoused Values. These are the strategies, goals, and philosophies of the company. Level 3 is Shared Tactic Assumptions. These are the unconscious, taken for granted beliefs, thoughts, and feelings of the company. Research indicates that managers do not have a defined sequence or systematic planning of their jobs. That is, all of their activities are not very well defined into a daily routine. Rather, the manager goes through a very fast-paced workday of disjointed meetings, activities, phone calls, interviews, and etc. CEOs generally conduct half of their activities in 9 minutes duration, and only 10% of their activities exceed 1 hour. Managers should have 3 basic roles: interpersonal roles, informational roles, and decisional roles. The various roles require the skills of maintaining peer relations, negotiating, motivating, resolving, establishing, disseminating information, making decisions, and allocating resources. A profession pertains to the knowledge of a science. A manager's job involves tactic knowledge, which relies on judgment and intuition. There are 10 manager roles. Figurehead role, representing the company at a function. Number 2, leader role, responsibility for work of others. Number 3, liaison role, contacting peers and other parts of the organization. Number 4, monitor role, scanning the environment and organization for information. 5, disseminator role, providing information to others. 6, spokesman role, providing information to others outside the local unit. 7, entrepreneurial role, improving the local unit through the events or projects. 8, disturbance handler, responding to instability of the unit due to changes. Number 9, resource allocator, deciding on the use of resources. And number 10, negotiator, working out difficult situations. The responsibilities of upper management and middle management involve a mixture of the 10 roles. Obsolete assumptions are: management is just business management. Number 2, there's only one right organizational structure. Number 3, there is only one correct way to manage people. Number 4, technologies and end users are fixed and given. Number 5, management scope is legally defined and found within the corporation. Number 6, management is internally focused. Number 7, management scope is politically defined. In times of change, everyone is involved in change effort. Today's manager is expected to be a change agent. Organizations generally undergo change in 4 major areas: strategy, technology, structure, and personnel. Strategic changes occur when the company shifts its direction and resources toward a new business or market venture. Technological changes occur when the company decides that automation or modernization of key processes are essential for overall competitiveness. Structural changes occur when the company undergoes a management delayering process or goes from a functional structure, product structure, or vice versa. Changing the attitudes and behaviors of a company and their personnel is often undertaken through organizational development techniques. The classic model for a change process has 3 phases: unfreezing, movement, and refreezing. The first phase means unfreezing the existing behavior patterns and practices of the work group. This is where resistance to change appears and must be dealt with. In the movement or change section, the next step would be to move the people or practices to a new arrangement. This could be accomplished through training or technology. And then the freeze or refreezing step. At the proper moment in time, with the skills, technology, and practices in place, the processes, including the people, are refrozen. This is where the company wants to be. A process, procedure, and department is now aligned for optimum organizational effectiveness. People resist change because they will be asked to do something that they may be unfamiliar with. They could also be asked to accept a change which could cause them personal loss. For example, certain older employees may reject change because they might be uncomfortable with doing their job slightly different. A change agent assumes the responsibility for managing the change process. The sponsor is a key political supporter and may provide a change agent with funds, staff, and resources. The process to be changed is defined as the target. Change agents can be managers or other employees. External change agents are outside individuals who are free from the political restraints. They can offer more objective views. However, outside agents will not have the insider's knowledge of the organization, culture, history, or personnel. Some of the characteristics good change agents have include being empathetic, sensitive, open, tolerant, flexible, patient, friendly, cooperative, imaginative, confident, self-reliant, and risk-taking. Advantages of internal change agents are better knowledge of the company, may be more available, lower cost, a known quantity, and more local control and authority. Advantages of an external change agent are more objective, diverse experience, technically prepared, and more independent. Disadvantages of the internal change agent are may be too close to the problem, may be biased, may be part of the problem, may be unwilling to be assigned. Disadvantages of the external change agent are less knowledge of the company, higher cost, an unknown quantity, longer startup time, and bad image or management. Probably the most important part of management is the responsibility for motivating people. The manager should recognize people have certain needs in common. Such common needs are that of being needed and being treated with dignity and respect.